The Silent Mines. Captain Alina Reyes stood on the bridge of the UES Pathfinder, Earth's most advanced deep space exploration vessel. Through the panoramic viewport, she watched as the ship's ion engines propelled them into the uncharted Cygnus arm of the Milky Way, farther than any human had ventured before. Transition to normal space complete, Captain, announced Lieutenant Commander Jackson, his fingers dancing across the navigation console. All systems nominal. Elena nodded, her dark eyes reflecting the stars that surrounded them. Any sign of the signal origin? Dr. Maya Okafor, the ship's chief xenobiologist, looked up from her station. Confirmed, Captain. The repeating pattern is coming from the fourth planet in this system. Definitely artificial. After 6 months in deep space, the Pathfinder had detected something humanity had been searching for since they first looked up at the stars. Proof they weren't alone. The signal was a simple mathematical sequence, broadcasting on a frequency that suggested intelligent design. Take us into orbit, Alina ordered. Standard first contact protocols. Let's introduce ourselves to the neighbors. As they approached the blue-green world, the sensors detected massive structures on the surface and in orbit. A civilization far more advanced than Earth's. Communication came swiftly after they entered the system. The main view screen flickered to life, revealing a being with iridescent skin that shifted colors like oil on water. Its eyes, 4 of them, arranged in a diamond pattern, blinked in unsynchronized patterns. Greetings, unknown vessel. The translator interpreted after a moment's delay. I am High Coordinator Vexillar of the Meridian Alliance. You have entered sovereign space. Identify yourselves. Elena stepped forward, shoulders squared. I am Captain Alina Reyes of the United Earth ship Pathfinder. We come from Earth, a planet approximately 3,000 light-years from here. We received your mathematical broadcast and came to establish peaceful contact. The alien skin rippled with bands of purple and green. Earth, we have no record of your species in the Alliance database. Vexillar's head tilted. You will remain in orbit. A delegation will board your vessel for assessment. Before Elena could respond, the transmission ended. They didn't give us much choice, muttered Security Chief Darius Chen. First impressions matter, Elena replied. Prepare to receive visitors. Full diplomatic protocols. 2 hours later, a sleek craft docked with the Pathfinder. 6 aliens boarded, led by a being who introduced himself as Observer Lyrith. They moved with an unsettling grace, their skin constantly shifting hues. The meeting began cordially enough in the ship's conference room. Alina explained humanity's history, their recent expansion into space, and their hopes for peaceful exchange of knowledge. The aliens listened silently, their eyes never blinking in unison. Halfway through her presentation, Alina noticed the aliens growing agitated. They began exchanging glances, their skin darkening to deep blues and violets. Observer Lyrith suddenly stood. This is unexpected. You are not what we anticipated. I hope that's not a problem, Alina replied carefully. It is concerning. Lyrith's skin pulsed with rapid color changes. You are silent. Dr. Okafor leaned forward. I'm not sure I understand. We've been quite forthcoming with information. Not your words, Lyrith clarified, the translator struggling to keep up with his rapidly changing tones. Your minds. They are absent, hidden. We cannot sense your thoughts. A chill ran down Alina's spine as understanding dawned. You're telepathic. All advanced species are connected through the meridian, Lyrith stated as if it were the most obvious fact in the universe. It is how civilizations evolve beyond primitive states, the sharing of consciousness. But you are closed, isolated, each mind a fortress. The implications hit Alina like a physical blow. These aliens couldn't read human minds, and that terrified them. We mean no offense, she said carefully. Humans evolved without telepathic abilities. We communicate through language and expression. Impossible, one of the other aliens hissed. No species could achieve spaceflight without mind sharing. Unless Lirith's color drained to an ashen gray. The void thought, the legends are true. The aliens conferred rapidly in their native language, their skin flashing patterns too quick for the human eye to follow. The translator caught fragments. Containment protocols. Potential threat. Council notification. Elena exchanged worried glances with her officers. Something had gone very wrong. Lirith turned back to them. Captain Rice, your vessel and crew will be escorted to Meridian Prime for further assessment. For safety reasons, we must temporarily assume command of your ship. That won't be necessary, Elena objected, rising to her feet. We came in peace, but the Pathfinder remains under Earth authority. I regret this is not a request. Lirith gestured, and more aliens entered the conference room, carrying devices that resembled weapons. The void thought is too dangerous to leave unchecked. Until the Council determines your species' intent, you will be contained. Within hours, the Pathfinder was surrounded by Meridian vessels and towed toward a massive space station orbiting a gas giant. The crew was confined to quarters, with alien guards posted throughout the ship. Only Elena and her senior staff were permitted limited movement to attend assessment interviews. During one such session, Dr. Okafor made a crucial discovery. They can't read our thoughts at all. She whispered to Elena as they were escorted back to the bridge. But they can sense our presence, or rather, our absence in their mental network. It's like we're blank spots in their perception. Chen leaned closer. That's why they're scared. We're ghosts to them. Not just ghosts, Elena realized. Unpredictable entities. Every other species they've encountered shares thoughts openly. They can't imagine a mind that keeps secrets. For 3 days, the interrogations continued. The Meridians probed for information about Earth's location, defenses, and technologies. Elena provided only the basics, claiming ignorance on military matters, a strategy that further unsettled their captors. On the 4th day, Elena was brought before High Coordinator Vexillor himself on the space station. Your kind presents a unique situation, Vexillor stated, looming over her in a chamber designed to intimidate. The Council has reviewed our findings and determined that the void thought poses an existential risk to the Meridian consciousness. We pose no threat, Elena insisted. Humanity seeks peaceful coexistence, not conflict. Your intentions are irrelevant when your very nature is disruptive, Vexillor replied coldly. A species that can hide its thoughts cannot be trusted. The potential for deception is too great. The High Coordinator's skin darkened midnight blue. The Council has voted. Your homeworld must be located and contained before your kind expands further. Your crew will remain here while a fleet is prepared. Elena's blood ran cold. Contained. What exactly does that mean? Isolation. Quarantine. Your species will be restricted to your home system until you evolve proper consciousness-sharing capabilities, or until extinction, whichever comes first. After being returned to the Pathfinder, Elena gathered her senior officers in her quarters, having discovered the room was one of the few places without surveillance. They're planning to invade Earth, she said bluntly. They see our inability to share thoughts as an evolutionary defect, one that makes us dangerous. We're surrounded by their ships, Chen pointed out. The Pathfinder systems are locked down. How do we warn Earth? Elena's expression hardened. We use their fear against them. If they're terrified of our void thought, let's show them exactly why they should be. That night, the plan was set in motion. Dr. Okafor had determined that the Meridians' telepathic abilities worked on electrical impulses similar to human brainwaves. When humans focused intensely, especially on abstract concepts or meditative states, their brainwave patterns became unreadable to the aliens. It's like trying to hear a dog whistle, Okafor explained. Their telepathy simply can't process our focused thought patterns. The crew began practicing what they called mental ghosting, deliberately focusing their minds to become even more silent to the Meridians. The aliens' discomfort was immediate and obvious. Guards became disoriented, unable to maintain their posts near humans who were actively ghosting. Within 2 days, they were ready. The Void Symphony. The operation began at ship's midnight. The entire crew engaged in synchronized mental ghosting, creating what Dr. Okafor called a cognitive dead zone that disoriented their guards. Chen's security team moved quickly, overriding the alien lockouts on critical systems while the confused Meridians struggled to coordinate a response. "They can't track what they can't sense," Alin observed as they retook the bridge. "And they can't predict what they can't imagine." Lieutenant Commander Jackson managed to regain control of the navigation systems. "Engines online, Captain. But we're still docked, and there are 15 Meridian vessels surrounding us." Belina took her seat in the command chair. "Then we give them something else to worry about. Activate the emergency beacon protocol." The Pathfinder's communications array came to life, broadcasting a powerful distress signal on all frequencies, a signal designed to be as disruptive as possible to the Meridian's sensitive receivers. "They're scrambling," reported Chen, watching the sensor readings. "Their ships are breaking formation. Now, Mr. Jackson, take us out. Full burn." The Pathfinder's engines ignited, ripping the ship free from its docking clamps. The sudden acceleration threw them clear of the immediate defense perimeter before the Meridian vessels could respond. "Multiple ships in pursuit," Chen called out. "They're charging weapons." "Evasive pattern Delta," Belina ordered. "Dr. Okafor, is the package ready?" Okafor nodded, her hand steady despite the ship shuddering under the strain. "Ready, Captain." "Deploy." From the Pathfinder's aft section, dozens of small probes launched into space, each broadcasting a replicated version of human brainwave patterns in their most disruptive form. The effect on the pursuing Meridian ships was immediate. They faltered, their movements becoming erratic as their crews struggled to function amidst the cognitive interference. "It's working," Jackson exclaimed. "They can't maintain pursuit." Elena didn't celebrate yet. "Get us to the system edge. Prepare for jump to FTL as soon as we're clear." The Pathfinder raced toward open space, the Meridian vessels falling further behind, confused by the phantom human signatures scattered across their sensors. As they reached the jump point, Elena took one last look at the view screen. "Set course for Earth. Maximum speed." The stars stretched into lines as the Pathfinder leaked into faster-than-light travel, leaving the Meridian Alliance behind. But Elena knew they wouldn't be safe for long. 3 weeks later, the Pathfinder arrived in Earth orbit. Elena's report to the United Earth Defense Council sent shockwaves through the government. Humanity had finally made contact with an advanced alien civilization, and that civilization saw them as a threat to be contained or eliminated. "They call it void thought," Elena explained to the grim-faced council members. "Our inability to share our thoughts telepathically makes us unpredictable in their eyes. And what they can't predict, they fear." Admiral Kenzo leaned forward. "How long do we have before they find Earth?" "Unknown," Elena admitted. "But they're determined. I'd estimate months, not years." "What about our current defenses?" asked Counselor Rivera. "Insufficient," Elena replied bluntly. "Their technology is centuries ahead of ours. Conventional warfare isn't an option." "Then what do you propose, Captain?" Admiral Kenzo demanded. Elena exchanged glances with Dr. Okafor before responding. "We weaponize what they fear most, our void thought. We develop technology that amplifies the effect that frightens them so much. If we can't outgun them, we'll outthink them." 6 months passed in feverish preparation. Earth's best minds worked alongside the Pathfinder's crew to develop what became known as void amplifiers, devices that could project and enhance the human brainwave patterns that disrupted Meridian telepathy. These were installed on a new class of stealth vessels, with the prototype UES Umbra leading the fleet. Unlike conventional warships, the Umbra was designed not to fight but to confuse, disorient, and terrorize through cognitive warfare. Captain Elena Reyes was given command of the Umbra, with many of her original crew volunteering to join her. The ship underwent shakedown trials in the outer solar system, its systems fine-tuned to maximize what the crew now called the Ghost Dark Thunder effect, a reference to how the Meridians describe the sensation of human minds disappearing from their perception. The warning came sooner than expected. Long-range sensors detected a fleet of Meridian vessels entering the Kuiper Belt, moving with purpose toward the inner solar system. 17 ships, reported Chen, now promoted to commander. Configuration matches their capital vessels. They're not being subtle. Admiral Kenzo's face appeared on the communication screen. Captain Rice, they're here sooner than we projected. The defense fleet isn't fully prepared. The Umbra is ready, Admiral, Elena assured him. We'll buy you the time you need. The Umbra moved silently to intercept the Meridian fleet, its stealth systems rendering it virtually invisible to conventional sensors. But Elena knew their true advantage lay elsewhere. All hands, initiate Ghost Protocol, she ordered. Throughout the ship, crew members activated their personal void amplifiers, creating a cascading field of cognitive disruption that extended far beyond the ship itself. The effect was immediate. The Meridian fleet's formation began to waver as their coordination faltered. They can sense something's wrong, but they can't pinpoint us, Dr. Okafor observed, monitoring the alien communications they could intercept. Their command structure relies on telepathic consensus. Without it, they're struggling to maintain tactical coherence. Elena nodded. Take us in closer. Let's increase the pressure. The Umbra glided between the alien vessels, its void amplifiers broadcasting human thought patterns specifically designed to create maximum dissonance in the Meridian consciousness. Ships began to drift out of formation, some firing weapons at empty space, others shutting down systems entirely as their crews became incapacitated. Captain, Jackson called out, I'm detecting a massive energy buildup in the lead vessel. I think it's their flagship. They're desperate, Elena realized. They're preparing to fire blindly, hoping to hit something, anything. She made her decision. Open a channel. All frequencies. When the connection was established, Elena spoke clearly and calmly. This is Captain Elena Reyes of Earth. You came to our home with hostile intent. You've experienced just a fraction of humanity's void thought capabilities. Stand down now, or we will increase the effect tenfold. For several tense moments, there was no response. Then the view screen activated, showing High Coordinator Vexillar. His skin was pale, almost translucent, and his 4 eyes struggled to focus. Captain Reyes, he rasped. You have weaponized the void. This was unanticipated. We didn't want this conflict. Elena replied. Humanity seeks peaceful coexistence, but we will defend ourselves if threatened. Vexillar's skin shifted slowly through muted colors. The Council underestimated your species. We believe the void thought to be a primitive trait, not a power. It's neither, Elena countered. It's simply who we are. Our minds evolved to be private, individual. It doesn't make us a threat unless you make us one. The alien leader was silent for a long moment. A reassessment is required. We will withdraw to neutral space to consider these developments. But know this, Captain. The Meridian Alliance has existed for 50,000 years because it recognizes and adapts to new realities. As does humanity, Elena responded. Perhaps that's something our species have in common. After the Meridian fleet retreated beyond Neptune's orbit, Elena received new orders. The Umbra would lead a diplomatic mission to meet with Alliance representatives at a neutral location, this time as equals, not captives. As she prepared for the mission, Dr. Okafor joined her in the observation lounge. They still fear us, the scientist noted, but now it's a fear tempered with respect. Elena watched the stars, thinking of how quickly humanity's place in the galaxy had changed. Fear can lead to hatred, but it can also lead to understanding. The Meridians believed telepathy was the only path to advancement. We've shown them an alternative. The silent minds, Okafor mused. That's what they're calling us now in their transmissions. Elena smiled. I prefer it to void thought. It's more accurate. Our minds aren't empty. They're just our own. As the Umbra prepared to depart for the diplomatic rendezvous, Elena composed a message to be sent back to Earth. We've discovered that in a galaxy of shared minds, our greatest strength is our individuality. What the Meridians feared as our darkness, we've proven to be our light. Humanity doesn't need to read thoughts to understand others. We've spent our entire history learning to communicate across the boundaries of our private minds. Perhaps now, we can teach the stars what we've always known. That true connection doesn't require surrendering who you are, but celebrating what makes you unique. The ship's engines hummed to life, carrying humanity's representatives into a future where the silence of their minds would speak volumes to the cosmos.